If you donate less than 10,000 bits, then leave.
What's the 4 headshots, Mum? Who are you? What have you done with Numskull?
I'm sus.
Please clip that. Oh, I'm insane.
Yeah! Oh, God!
Oh, I'm actually insane. That thing is basically you're talking bare shit. Like, you're telling lies, you're gassing yourself up to something that ain't true, or you're just basically talking shit.
What is going on, everybody? It is your bearded American Numskull. Welcome back to Season 2 of the Gassin Init podcast, aka the GIP. We took a really long break because I was getting my ass kicked at work. And Danskie,
I was dealing with mental health.
Yeah, exactly. But we're back, Season 2, coming to you better than ever, harder than ever. Pause. We are back today. We are going to be talking about rebranding. But I totally just skipped over you. Danskie, my British compart, welcome back. How are you, brother?
I'm Gucci, fam. Got my shit sorted. I'm now pink instead of blue.
Yep, the man who donned pink hair and a maid outfit and got wasted on his 21st birthday on stream.
Yes, sir.
Oh,
But we have a special guest.
indeed. Would you like to introduce our handsome guest?
I wouldn't say handsome.
I would. Have you seen his hair?
More like gorgeous, breedable, and submissive man. But,
okay.
MrLaffable, aka Dennis, welcome on in to the GIP podcast. How you doing?
I don't know right now.
He goes, I'm scared.
What's going on?
I'm scared.
Mom, come pick me up.
I'm scared.
I need
No,
an
I'm doing
adult.
good.
I need
I need an adult.
I need an adult.
I need help. But no, I'm doing good. I slept kind of okay. I mean, brain doesn't like going to bed early. Like sleeping until 6 p.m. But whatever, I'm awake.
I told you, masturbate more. It helps.
Brother, I already got that covered. Calm down.
No, I'm talking like 3 times a day, like
Damn
Big
right.
Danskie.
We're here to talk about rebranding, not Danskie's masturbation schedule.
I'm just like
OnlyFans.com/Danskie TV if you want to see that.
Oh my god. It was a meme, by the way. It was a meme.
Oh, was it?
I'm a guy. What do you fucking expect?
But today we're talking about rebranding. All three of us, in some certain sense, to some certain degree, have all rebranded in a sense. You know, some more minor, some more major than other. And of course, we're going to go over our experience, why you should or should not, and what our personal experiences with rebranding, what we did, how we did it, why we did it, is what we're going to go over today. We're going to sit with you for a good hour, serenade your ears with our wonderful voices, except for Danskie. He's going to assault your earlobes with British slang. Which, by the way, fuck you. I've spent too much time with you. Yesterday at work, I called somebody bruv.
Oh my god.
I don't even say bro.
Because freaking one of my managers is like, he's like, oh yeah, how you doing, man? I was like, good, bruv. And he's like, what? It's like, oh shit, brother, how you doing, bro? Damn it. And I just walked away.
Dear God.
Right.
Yeah, stick with me long enough. Like you tend to start talking like me.
Well, because of you, I've started listening to more, UK drill music because no respawn hits different.
It really is. If you don't know what we're on about, check out our first episode.
Yeah, where we compared US and UK drill music.
And UK won just by miles.
It just
Oh,
Dennis, what's with the Among Us in the background, bro?
Life is pain.
Okay. So the reason why that's up there, for my 24-hour charity birthday stream, we had a goal. For the 500 mark, I would buy whatever shirt won TKO in Jackbox, and that's the shirt that won.
Life is pain.
It is.
and it's on my wall now. I said I would hang it on my wall, and I fucking did, and they never let me forget about it. I
Does
literally
that just say life is pain, or does it have more like on?
No, it's
on
just
Twitter?
life is pain. That's all it says.
Bro, I can you send me that because that's me on a daily basis.
I can send you the link. You could buy the shirt.
I mean, you could just send it me as a birthday gift, but you know.
When the fuck is your birthday?
It's been gone, bro. It was on the 12th of January.
Right. Wait till next year. Bruh.
He's all right, I'm gonna head
out. Imagine just.
Oh shit. Okay.
Okay, so if I get you that, can you buy me something for my birthday that passed November 4th?
A pack of cigarettes and 2 condoms. How's about that?
Would never smoke, and I don't use the condoms because I've never fucked anybody.
Go have yourself.
You can tell, yeah, sure, buddy. You can tell.
Go have
you can
yourself
tell my sex life by the way I look.
Go have yourself a posh wank.
I mean, that is true. I mean, that is true. You can always have a posh wank.
What the fuck is that?
About to change your world, Dennis.
So you put the condom on and wank off.
That is a waste of time. That's a waste of 10 seconds of your life.
Clean up.
This man raised at 10 seconds.
Yep.
Bruh.
10 seconds.
Get it right? It's 11.5.
He goes, I'm working on my stamina right now. It's 11 and a half seconds.
Bro, I would never... Bro, that's basically paying money to jerk off then. I'm not going to do that.
But it feels so nice. So good.
Okay, anyways. We've
gone off the rails. Who? Like, what?
What the fuck?
Bro, I'm not even gonna lie. I should have gotten
5 minutes in, and Dennis is already regretting his decision to be on the podcast.
I don't know why I signed
up for.
All right. Anyway, enough bullshit. Let's get on to it.
Rebranding.
All right.
Rebranding on Twitch and in life, and streaming content creation. I think I'll go first since my rebrand is like the smallest, tiniest, most minuscule rebrand ever. But
that's what she said.
So when I've rebranded a couple times, but it's not like major. It's always been the same kind of like aesthetic look, feel, and name for a sense. Because when I originally started creating out content, I just used my my Xbox gamer tag, which was Numskull 831, which was my old area code. And then I was like, that just sounds too lame when I started creating content on YouTube. So I think it was after like either like 3 or 4 games, I was like, Numskull 831 is just not right. So I changed to Numskull Gaming. Well, Numskull Gaming, I later found out there was a company that was already Numskull Gaming that was selling like basically gaming themed content and stuff. So I was like, okay, well, I should probably change something, and maybe something a little shorter too. I think it was a combination of that. And at the time I was playing the Darwin Project, which the Darwin Project was like a BR that had Twitch integration, but also had like a host bot or whatever that would, broadcast on their channel. And, your name was a certain amount of characters and just come up as Numskull Guy. And I was like, okay, well, nobody really knows that I'm, a streamer, and I'd like to drive traffic to my channel through this game. So I was just like, screw it, Numskull TV. And that's all I did. The reason for me is it was just A, simplicity, B, kind of creating more of a persona that was recognizable and not as long. And then, of course, a couple times I've changed aesthetics on stream or on content, from a darker red and black theme to now, more recently, rebranding to kind of like a retro wave, synth wave kind of look, which I'm actually really digging the, neon purples and pinks and all that stuff. So mine was simple, and I've stuck as Numskull, just different variations since 2013.
So with mine, I'm gonna say mine for last because mine is longer than both of yours. So, Dennis.
Oh
Okay.
yeah.
So
So let's first start out where, because before you were Mr. Kinshasa,
yeah.
where did that come from?
Okay, so I was a big wrestling fan
Uh-huh.
for the longest time. Since I was a kid. And I didn't have a related actually that's a lie. My first ever Xbox name, um not first ever, but it was like my favorite one was Mr. Styles Clash. And if you know AJ Styles, Mr.
Mhm.
Styles Clash's finisher, blah blah blah. And then it turned into Mr. Kinshasa, like Shinsuke Nakamura, so I picked his finisher name, put Mr. in front of it, blah. So that's kind of my thought process when it came to that. And there was no other thought behind it. I was a kid. I was stupid. I didn't really understand how to make a cool name or make anything sound cool or creative or anything. Now I have a name that's a lot different. And how did this come to be? Around, goddamn, it was. It's got to be a year and maybe a half ago ish, about when I was in a PS4 party with my buddy Robert, who is one of my good friends. We just don't talk that much anymore. But him and I were thinking, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I've been thinking about changing up my Twitch name." He was like, "Well, what were you thinking of changing it to?" And I threw some stuff around. I threw around the idea of Mr. Menace, and he ended up saying, "That sounds like you're a Fortnite YouTuber." So I said, "All right, I'm gonna stop, and I'm not gonna do that." So I didn't end up doing that one. And then I ended up throwing out like a couple more. It didn't sound good. I was like, how am I going to get this done? Because I don't want to be Mr. Kinshasa anymore. I thought I sounded stupid. So I ended up coming up with MrLaffable, not spelled the proper way, not like laughable, Laugh-able, but Laffable. And the reason why I came up with that is because I actually found the word affable by accident. I think it was actually I think it was actually a word of the day, like something that happened like two weeks prior or something like that. And I was like, oh yeah, affable. I looked it up again and I found it. I was like, good, kind-hearted, and easy to talk to. I was like, oh, just put the L in front of it, Mr. Laughable. That sounds kind of cool. So when I did that, I said it to him and he said, that actually doesn't sound half bad at all. And I was like, really? He was like, yeah, go for it. And I was like, okay. So the process of actually going through the rebrand was probably the most. Okay, so imagine you need to. It's like you have to get so many different things. You have to get a name on every single platform. You have to get a new setup for like your panels and like your channel art, and you have to get like the ads for the Twitter, the ads for the YouTube, the ads for the Twitch. It's like if one thing's off, it's like holy fuck, I can't do this because somebody has one of the things. The only platform I couldn't get MrLaffable on was Xbox, and who the fuck plays Xbox anymore? So I was fine with it. I was fine with it. PS4 and PC. That's all you'll ever need, ever. Don't ever get an Xbox.
Minus the PS4,
Ever.
then I agree.
Or PS, Last of Us, all these other games that you could get. God of
Very
War,
true.
no longer an exception because it's on Steam now. But like Ghost of
some
Tsushima,
some of the
and
other
all
ones,
the other games.
the other ones are coming. It's just a matter of time.
Yeah.
PlayStation.
I don't think Naughty Dog will do it. Personally,
I think they will. To be honest, if with and not to segue, but with like God of War coming, that's going to open the door for a lot more PlayStation exclusives. Be like, yeah, and you know the fact that they now have Final Fantasy, Final Fantasy VII Remaster on PC. I think people are finally realizing, like, okay, maybe we should just spread our wings out and put our games on every platform.
I think they'll have to see how good it does on Steam. If it does,
All I'm
good,
saying is though, God of War releases on PC. The modders are gonna go ape shit. 5 minutes later, you're gonna have fucking Baby Yoda. Like gonna have Yoda and then like Baby Yoda. Like,
yep,
boy.
Yeah. Just and then the fucking Baby Yoda.
Anyways. So back to it. You didn't get Laughable on Xbox because nobody plays Xbox anyways, and literally they're trying to keep Xbox alive on PC.
basically.
But what's that? You want to play games on Microsoft Store? You're gonna have to launch the Xbox app.
Yeah, literally. Fuck everything, I guess.
Right.
But I would say the most difficult thing that came with rebranding would actually have to be like it wasn't getting the panels because like you could just get somebody to do it like on Fiverr, and I did that, and I'm still in contact with my artist from all those years, or like that year ago, not years ago. It makes it sound like it's so long ago.
That's like you did the rebrand 10 years ago. All those years ago, back in Nam.
All those years ago, back in Nam. Having the flashbacks again.
Mr. Kinshasa died. And I'm
actually in contact with her right now to make another panel, and she's awesome. She still makes really good art, and I'm actually thinking about doing another like art change along with her. I've actually done 2 technically, just for freshening it all up and making it look more clean. But the hardest thing was actually saying to like all my friends, yeah, don't call me that anymore. That was the thing. It was easy for some people, but some was like, bro, I've always known you as Mr. Kinshasa. Like, how am I going to change it now? And it's just like, well, figure it out. I'm MrLaffable now. Call me Laugh or Dennis, whatever you want to call me.
I think yours was easier for most of us who just, call you Dennis. Because that's still, you even let people like, even people in stream, you're not afraid to really just be like, yep, my name's Dennis. Whereas me, like, the only person that calls me Tyler is Danskie when he comes into my stream. Like, it still throws me off. Because so many people have just been calling me Num or Numskull. And then he comes in, hey, Tyler. I'm like, what? Just get thrown off.
I'm on that mindset right now.
All right.
That's so long ago. And, like, the old brand that I had, I'm not even fucking shitting you. The Fortnite, like, what was the character? The leprechaun girl was like the main thing. Like with the the hat, the pickaxe, the whatever the heck it was, the pot of gold on the back. That was everything. That was the panels. That was the fucking channel art. It was very cringy, and I'm very glad I'm away from that because I don't even play that game anymore. Like, oh my god, so long ago.
Right, it just feels like ages ago.
Look at it and be like, I throw up each time I think about it. I can't.
So, with me, it's like my rebranding has been like Goku and his transformations. I have a new one every other week. Like figure of speech. Not
yeah. So like, in terms of like rebranding, you and Dennis had the most major ones, like full name changes, full everything. Me, I just had like these minor little like change on the end of your on the end of your name, and like an aesthetic change, which like I have ADHD, so probably in like a year my aesthetic's gonna change again.
There's only one person on Twitch who knows me by my original name. And that was #1 GT5A God 69. Nobody else knows me by that.
What?
And I'm talking back when it was called Justin TV.
That just sounded like a meme and a half.
Say that again.
Yeah.
#1 NO1 GT5A God 69. See, it was supposed to be #1 GTA 5 God 69, but I fucked up the spelling and I didn't want to pay £10 to change it. So, well, yeah, this is back when Twitch wasn't Twitch; it was called Justin TV.
Oh my god!
Yeah, bro.
No, Justin TV.
So when Justin TV became Twitch TV, I finally decided to change my name. And back then, my name was called TKM_Dan. No idea what TKM stood for. It just sounded cool, so I went for it.
Those 3 letters just in front of my name look cool, so I did it.
Yes, and that's actually the name I met the homie Mike, aka Bulb Elf. Then, a couple months later, go down the line, I wanted to change my name again because I didn't really vibe with TKM. So, this is actually a name where I met Tyler, aka Numskull, on. Xeon9 It's. That name, it made me sound like I worked in a gay strip club. So, and somebody says, yeah, no, it doesn't roll off the tongue. But alright, bet. 2 weeks later, I changed it to Zexril. Sound like a porno video.
There's a theme
Then-
going on here, Danskie.
Yes, I know. Then, like, I had that name for a good year and a half. But I actually lost that account due to fucking 2FA. Foreshadowing. And so I said, alright, fuck it. Then comes the name where everybody knows me by, Pyoko. And actually, how I got that name was a mix of Piccolo, Goku, and Gohan. Put them together, you get Pyoko. Well, it was actually named Pyoko, but Americans and the dumb brain
Pyoko.
cells, they call me Pyoko. So it was like, alright. Then everyone called me by Pyoko. Every name on every social media was Pyoko. My Xbox gamer tag was Pyoko. My PS4 gamer tag was Pyoko. Fucking everything you could imagine was Pyoko. And then the inevitable happened. I lost my account to 2FA. And the first person I told was Tyler when he was playing Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. Zombies. With somebody who we don't speak about anymore.
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah. So, and then it was actually Tyler's idea because my new account was Pyoko Bot. Because I'm super creative. Don't at me.
Because you're a bot.
Yeah. And then Tyler was like, "Hey, Danskie," because everybody who's like my close friends called me Danskie, Ball Valve, Tyler, and a few others, but it wasn't my actual name until Numskull said, "Hey, why don't you just change your name to Danskie? It's easy, it's memorable, and it's cool." So I was like, I thought about it, contemplated. So I went to Twitter and I typed in Danskie. It was taken, of course. So I put TV at the end, like Numskull TV, Danskie TV, and it was available. So alright, fuck it, change my name to Danskie TV, and everything was good. But here's the thing that sucked the most. On Pyoko, I had like 1,500 followers and I was averaging 20 to 28 viewers. But because I rebranded to Danskie, nobody knew who I was.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't come by anymore.
And
So-
that's gonna happen.
Yeah, that's going to happen regardless. Like, you'll lose some people. But I am now officially set on Danskie TV. Everybody calls me Danskie. These Nuts calls me Danskie. PT, Airborne, everyone who knows me now calls me Danskie. There are a few people that still call me Pyoko. And that spins me out when I call Numskull Tyler.
Yeah.
Like, I would be playing and I'm like, "Hey, Pyoko." I'm like, "Hey, what? Hello?
Do I
what the fuck?
know you?
Like, do I know you? Do I remember you? Like, hello?" But the hardest thing for me, and it's going to sound stupid, it wasn't the overlays, it wasn't the panels, it wasn't all that. It was actually messaging all my old friends, telling Pyoko is Danskie. But none of them believed me. So I've lost everybody who knew me as Pyoko. And I'm okay with that because I met new people, better people. And one of the suckiest things about rebranding as well, personally, was finding my brand color. Like, Tyler has black and red. I'm pretty sure Dennis has like a bronzy color, right? Me, what do I have? No color really suits the name Danskie, until I went back to my original color, which was a mint cyan, which now you'll see my name everywhere in mint cyan. And that took me a good 9 months to find.
So like finding your aesthetic is like kind of tough. Dennis, was there a switch in like, because obviously you said you went from the Fortnite leprechaun girl to being your panels to like now you're bronzy. Was there like a set color scheme when you were Kinshasa, or was it just like, hey, this looks dope, I'm just gonna use this?
Very much the same color scheme, believe it or not.
Yeah.
It was very similar because, believe it or not, I went with the idea of the black and gold, like the pot of gold, like the black like cauldron, and
Mhm.
then the gold in it. I was like, you know what, that's like part of my history, so I may as well just keep that. So I kept the color scheme. I brought that in, and I was like, okay. I went to the person and I was like, I would like something different, including just black and gold. Just be creative, do whatever you want. Um, and they fucking blew me away. Like I gave them no direction at all. They just took it. And I'm sure you've seen the starting soon or the beer back screen,
Mhm.
and they ran with it.
Yeah.
And I think it looks great. And I think there could be some things that they could change in the future if I ever want to have something different. I have some ideas. But right now, I feel very content with it. I don't think there's anything that I could really change at
Yeah.
all.
And like going through, not only going through, like you said, like the panels, but also the biggest thing is make sure you get all your handles, especially nowadays when it's like there's so much stuff that you need to just spread your content out. There's not just, like Twitch, YouTube, Twitter. There's, there's TikTok, there's Hover, there's, all your gamer tags. There's Steam, there's Epic, there's, Ubisoft, Origin, all this other stuff that you just don't remember. Like there were times too that I would go, like after I changed the Numskull TV, and I go to a different like launcher. Like I opened up the Epic launcher, I was like, oh crap, my name's still, this in the Epic store. Or, I go play Xbox and it's like, oh, well, I'm not gonna pay money to change my Xbox name.
That happens to me with Blizzard.
Yeah.
When I used to play, I actually used to go by Styles a lot, believe it or not, just Styles. And that is, I'm telling you right now, if I could go to Styles, in my mind, in my brain, I secretly would love to do that, but I've fallen in love with the name Laughable. That like I can't let it go. Like I think it fits me too fucking well. And Styles is more just because I liked AJ Styles, but when somebody calls me Styles when I'm playing on that account, it doesn't bother me. And they're like, Styles, I'm like, what? Like it doesn't bother me. Like,
yeah, even
all.
though you've changed out of those, like you'll still acknowledge, take acknowledgement of those names. Like, yeah, it'll throw you through a loop. Like Danskie said, it'll throw you through a loop when like he gets called Pyoko or
I call him Tyler.
Well, that's my real name. That's just
what if
I know,
someone
but
said
like
Styles, right? My old Xbox friends that I don't want to talk about because they're like I've watched, like, bro, I'm sorry, a lot of them are so childish. I only talk to one of them. They all say like really horrible jokes to one another. I'm just like, I don't want to be involved with this. Goodbye. So I left. But I talk with one of them and he still says every once in a while, hey, what's up, Styles? I'm like, oh god.
It's
Hello.
laughable.
It's laughable, but not to you, obviously. But like, just call me Dennis, please. Like, calling me Styles is so weird.
yeah, like another thing with rebranding as well. It's all well and good that your name set like looks easy, but your brand needs to be able to fit a bunch of criteria. Can you put it on merch? Is it recognizable when you go into someone's chat? Like if you have a saying, like mine is like obviously you cunt because I'm British. Honestly, no, that's my saying. So when I go into someone's chat,
saying,
I know. Like when I go into someone's chat and I type "you cunt," people start at me like, "Hey Danskie, Danskie this, Danskie that," because it's like everybody who's heard me say it associates "hey like you cunt" with Danskie.
Hey guys, it's Numskull, aka Tyler from the Gassin Init podcast. Do you guys want to start your own podcast but don't know where to start? Well, head on over to Anchor.fm and get started today for free. All you got to do is record your episode, upload it, and they'll get it out to all your major podcast platforms like Spotify, Google Podcasts, Breaker, Pocket Cast, Radio Public, and way more. All you got to do is head on over to Anchor.fm, create an account, and start your podcast today.
Like, it's weird, but it's true. Like, you've got, like, these nuts. He's got the nut house, and everybody adds him when he goes into someone's chat.
Yep.
It's like, so rebranding is all well and good, and getting your tags is good, But he needs to be able to do much more than that. He needs to be able to go on merch, emotes, sub badges. Like, he needs to be able to do a lot more than just the one thing itself.
Yeah, well, I think you're right, and like you have to also, that's something that subconsciously you kind of have to think about too, is like how not only is like, you know, if you're happy with it, but then also are people going to start associating you with it, or like how well does it sound, like you said, like on merch or as like a brand, if that's the direction you really want to go. You know, like
I associate Numskull with his skull, his Grim Reaper.
But like the funny thing is, and I hate this about it too, is like Twitch considers Numskull an explicit word. So literally when I try to go live on OBS and I put like my name in like either the you know, the going live notification or like in my title, it's like this has explicit words in it and it is against Twitch's, you know, whatever it is, terms of service. I was like, that's my name. You know, I have it on a freaking badge from TwitchCon. Like, Twitch fully knows. Like, I am Numskull.
Yeah, I can have your cunt as my live notification, but you can't have Numskull.
like, come on, Twitch. Like, it's me. This is my name. Like, damn you.
But yeah, it needs to be easy, recognizable, and it needs to look good everywhere.
Well, the main thing is if as long as you're happy with it, you know, screw everything else. As long as you're happy with the way your content's presented and your name and your identity and whatever your aesthetic is, like that's you. That's the main thing about rebranding, is making sure you're happy with what you have.
Like, it's also, what's the word? Like, you can, if you really wanted to, you could trademark your name. Yeah. So, no, like, because it's your brand, it's you, it's your identity. So, if you, like, brand it as yours, no one else can steal it. No one else can go by it because it is tied to you. The issue is then, if you decide to rebrand again, it's going to be a bit harder.
Right.
Like, your brand is like your NFT, basically.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
It's his face palm. He's like, don't even. It's just a fancy JPEG. That's all it is.
Bro, look, ready? I just stole your fucking NFT.
Control C, Control V. Mine now.
Bro, I Windows print screen. It's mine. Fuck you and your ugly fucking gorilla. Get out of here. I hate it. I hate the idea of NFTs. It's the stupidest thing on the fucking planet. It's so stupid. Bro, like literally, I could use my own face as an NFT. But if so, like, my friend Miami has literal screenshots of my face probably in his computer because he's made memes about me. So he owns me in a sense then. Like, what?
I have a JPEG of your face. I have your NFT. I'm gonna become a millionaire.
I will sell your face for $1 million. Like,
speaking of that, I also have a folder called Hentai, and it has 1,000 pictures of Tyler's face.
Wait, what?
He has a folder on his desktop that he marked it as hentai, but it's literally just a copy paste of my pog face emote like 1,000 times.
That's funny.
Technically, I own Tyler now.
He's got an energy.
Hey, share that. Share it with me.
I got you.
So,
but okay.
God damn it.
But on the flip side, for me, for rebranding is also really hard to do for other people because I am a full-time graphic designer.
Mm-hmm.
So when they come to me for a rebrand idea, I'm like, I don't know you personally. I don't know your personality. I don't know how you think. You have to come up with me. You have to like come up with it, then tell me what to do. Tell me the direction. You can't just say, yeah, just do whatever you want. Yeah. No, because that's a shitty rebranding.
Well, I think the biggest resource is and Dennis alluded to this earlier, is Fiverr. Well, and other graphic designers like Danskie, yeah, you're a graphic designer and you get reached out to personally from people like I've reached out to you and you've done some of the best graphics I've ever seen. But like Fiverr is just this proverbial gold mine of whatever you want. And, you know, there are for every, you know, shitty artist out there is looking to just make a quick $5 on Fiverr. There's like a really good one like Dennis's who will sit there and really kind of capture what you want. And then, like he said, just run with it and then create just pure gold out of it.
I have no idea how they did something as cool as they did with no direction.
That's all down to like
luck. It's all down to luck.
Luck and creativity. Like some of us just aren't as like.
Because if I went to a random other person besides the one I went to, they could have given me something that I didn't like. So I got very lucky with the person I selected. That's what I meant.
But with Fiverr, you also have to be careful because you will get scammed sometimes.
Yeah, no, I paid a guy on Fiverr to give me a stream kit, and it just seemed like he threw it together in like 10 minutes, and I was just like, dude, I already paid you, so like
most of them don't even make it themselves. They just get a template off of YouTube and just change it. Like change the text, change the color.
Yeah, like I had, you know, I already had an image that I had made, which a lot of this, like the artists that make, you know, icons and, you know, characters and all this other stuff like I've had done are amazing. But then when I send it to somebody like, hey, here's my main logo, can you create a stream kit around that? And it's just like, there was no, like the one I got, there was just no creativity behind it at all. And some of us just aren't creative. Like me, I am not. Yeah. I am not as creative as say like Danskie is. I don't have that, you know.
You don't have that over imaginative. No, it's
like
hyperactive imagination.
Like, yeah, that's I have an imagination, but it's just like I just don't have that super like hyperactive imagination. And some people just have it, you know, it's like an artistic imagination that I don't have. And that's what you need to try to find on Fiverr, and that's really hard to find sometimes.
Like, because you're either going to be spending upwards of 500, or you can find a gold mine like Dennis did and get it for like really cheap, and it's the same quality as the most expensive one.
Well, yeah, and then the fact that Dennis is still in contact with it is amazing because then you just like, hey, I need XYZ. Can you still?
Do you know how much the design for the overlay was?
How much?
No,
$75.
And was that just overlay, or was it like
that was
the whole stream kit?
Twitch overlay, screens, panels, and more, all $75 all together.
That's a really good price because
not that
for
bad.
me, I charge 100 for a static streamer pack or 150 for an animated, and that also includes
that's good.
That also includes animated emotes.
Mm-hmm.
You get 3 animated emotes, but some people think that's a bit overpriced, but you also have to take into account for the time and effort I put into it. Because Tyler can vouch for me. I don't just turn work out and it's shit.
No, and it takes time, and like I feel bad too sometimes when I'm like, hey, can you work on this? You're like, yeah, I'll get it to you on this day. I was like, no, just take your fucking time. Like, I know you're a busy man, and that's you know, and I don't want to sit here and be like, yeah, Dennis, Danskie, you're my friend. Like, do shit for me for free, you know, and I'll still slide you money for it because I know you're taking time and effort to, you know, do this stuff. But
like doing someone's rebranding, it gives you multiple feelings of anxiety, stress. But also, when that person smiles and loves it so much, it makes you happy. The reason why I say anxiety and stress is because you're literally making someone's brand.
Well, and that goes...
You never know. Your work that you do this person, you could send that person off to become a Twitch partner. Everybody's looking at your graphic work. Mm-hmm. That increases your anxiety, which makes you want to do the best work you can possibly do.
Well, and that actually slides us into something really, really well I wanted to talk about. Is like it may seem like a minuscule thing that doesn't really matter, but like your brand, your aesthetic, your whole name, your being, all that really attributes can and does attribute to your success, you know, is your name memorable? You know, does it catch the eye? Because literally, you can catch a viewer in the first 5 seconds, I mean, the first 5 to 30 seconds. And if you don't do that, they're gone. And if your stream looks like butt and you're not actively like talking, or there's nothing pulling people into your stream, then like you can lose somebody that fast. And that's the difference between, you know.
Also, your name needs to be easy to spell.
Well, and think about it this way.
You need to think like a 5-year-old. Is it easy to spell? Is it easy to look up?
Well, no, but think about names that are memorable. And if you really want to go to like even to a bigger sense, there's like what names are the most memorable of, you know, the more notable streamers. You know, there are people like, you know, Shroud, Tim the Tap Man, it's
Ninja,
yeah, it's people like that.
Dr.
And then
Disrespect.
how memorable are these names if somebody crosses your channel? And you know, it's really rare, and I'm going to use Dennis as an example here. MrLaffable is something you do not hear every day, and that's going to catch you. Like, that's an interesting name. And that's what's going to pull you in. And that's also what you kind of have to do. Like, that's can make somebody curious. Like, why is he called MrLaffable?
Yeah. When I first met Dennis, I just automatically assumed his name was MrLaffable because I thought he was funny.
But then he wasn't, and he's a fucking idiot.
Yeah, exactly. So
I figured out he's a fucking bitch.
You literally clickbaited me. You literally clickbaited me.
No, but like,
wow. All right, man. Understandable. What were you actually gonna say, huh?
No, but you know, like when I met Dennis, he was Mr. Kinshasa, and that's immediately that's where my mind went to, was like Shinsuke Nakamura, because I'm a wrestling cuck too, you know.
But the thing is that's a good point that you're bringing up. If nobody's a wrestling fan, they're going to be like, oh, yeah, what's Kinshasa? And if you look up Kinshasa, it is it's the capital of the largest city in the Democratic Republic of the Congo. And I am not from there.
You're from the Republic of Congo? That's weird, man.
Yeah, dude. No, it just... I never even knew that until after my name wasn't Kinshasa, and I was like, wow, I'm very glad I switched my name because I don't fucking live there.
Yeah.
It's just...
Well, and it's, you know, it starts to become you at some point. You know, I can't... The weird thing that still gets me to this day is sometimes... Well, and now, because I put a little sticker on the back of my truck that has my Twitch username, and I'll be out there like, hey, Numskull. I'm like, what? Like I'm out in public just being Tyler, and they say, huh? Do I know you? Oh no, I just know you from Twitch. Like, you do? I need an adult.
Like,
but
another thing is, some people are scared to start streaming, and that's understandable. But if you're gonna start streaming, you don't need to spend thousands and thousands of dollars.
No, and that's...
Especially on graphic work.
I think the biggest thing is just making sure you're happy with what you have. You know, making sure you're happy with your name and your brand. You know, like Dennis alluded to, like Mr. Kinshasa, you weren't really feeling it. But then you got Laughable and you're like, yep, that's me. That's an amazing name. And you just need to be happy with what you have and what your name is and your brand and all that stuff, because then that shows through. You know, if you're not happy with your stream, then people aren't going to be happy in your stream, period.
Also, I think it also ties in with like your name being able to maybe correlate with like the way you act or like the way things happen. So like if I had to guess, like if I was gonna be funny, right? So Numskull. Let's say you're a top tier gamer. You get all the snipes, right?
What do you mean? I am top tier. No.
Okay. Shut up. I know, buddy. You're not gonna fucking you're styling on me right now. I'm just trying to give you an example.
No, I
Okay,
guess.
how about this? MrLaffable, right? If they join in the stream immediately and I'm laughing my ass off, the name makes sense. If I'm being positive, it's like, oh, MrLaffable, good, kind-hearted, easy to talk to. Cool, all that stuff. If somebody comes in and I'm acting like a dick, sometimes it happens. We don't all have good days. It happens, you know, and sometimes like you said, you'll lose people, you know?
It's that first 30 seconds that you pull them in.
The first 30 seconds that people see that's very important, you know? And I probably lost a couple people every once in a while, but you know what? There's 7 billion people on the planet, you know? And I'm sure more people are discovering Twitch every single day, you know? And maybe one day more people that will know your humor and know your sense of just talking will come to Twitch and be like, oh yeah, and then they get lucky to find you, and then they become your viewer.
Well, and that's a weird thing too, is people understanding how you are. Like Danskie, Danskie's a cunt, but God, we love him. You know, his way of you know, humor and interaction is very to a lot of people is very dickish, you know, hard-headed, in your face type of humor. But you know, it's one of those things where it's like you peel back the layers and there's a kind-hearted little boy under there. Just, you know, he's British, so he's typically angry, and he just, you know, you'll piss him off and you piss dick ass cunt bollocks, you know, shit like that will just come spouting out of his mouth. But you know, it's just that's the kind of person he is, and people, you know, some people are turned off by it. I've had many people like come up to me like, why the fuck do you hang out with Danskie? He's a fucking dick. I was like, that's on the surface. You got to give it time. Like a good soup. You just gotta let it sit for a minute. Good soup. We watch way too much TikTok.
Facts. But like,
all of us too were just like,
like that dickish personality is that's my online personality. Like, that's like, if I'm in your stream or I'm streaming, that's the personality I'm gonna choose, because loud equals funny.
You're hilarious, Dennis.
Thank you.
Like,
I know.
He's
I'm loud, I'm a cunt, I'm funny.
Well, I think personality ties into brand too.
Yes. Like, my personality is raw. I come with a trigger warning.
Very much so.
Yes. But like Tyler said, you peel back the onions, the layers like an onion.
Onions.
I've been watching too much Shrek, okay? But like, once you get to actually know me, you'll find out the dickish personality isn't my true personality.
He's just a big old softy. He's an American on the inside.
Yes, exactly. British on the outside, American on the inside.
He's like a Dairy Queen soft serve cone that's been dipped in the chocolate. Like, the outer shell is so hard to get through it, but then when you get inside, you're like, oh, he's pretty sweet.
I mean, my ex-one said that to me.
Nice bar.
But
on that bar.
But like, when it comes to branding, like Charlie says, your personality does tie into it. So you've got to be very careful how you come across.
Well, and Dennis said that too. You know, if people go into his stream and like laughable and he's fucking serious, he's like, you're not funny. You're not laughing. Why the fuck are you laughable? You know?
Exactly.
Because we all do have bad days. It is facts.
Oh my God. And some days, like, I'm sure you've seen me get a little bit upset at Dead by Daylight.
Oh, well, yeah, and that's, oh my God.
That happens. It's meant to be a competitive game, but I'm slowly turning away from it being competitive. Like, I'm actually getting a lot better with just being, like, I'm dying? Cool. I guess I'll go on to the next game and wait 5 minutes to queue.
Well,
and then I'll just talk with chat, you know?
Like, any game, man. Like, I've seen it a couple times, and hats off to you too for still putting TTV in your name on Dead by Daylight, because that has just, I've been there when some of the most toxic people from that game have come into your chat and just tried to freaking like flame you for the way you play or what you were
Dude,
doing
oh
as a
my
killer. And
God.
it's like, holy crap,
Oh
bro.
my
It is
Lord.
not that
It is
serious.
so bad. I remember somebody else was streaming, like another TTV was in the game, and they asked me after game. They said, "Hey, why did you tunnel that other person out?" And it wasn't even that person's friend. They were solo queuing, and I'm just like, I needed the pressure in the moment to win the game. They're like, that's a terrible excuse. I'm just like, well, then how about you go play killer and see how it feels, bitch? How about you fucking see how it feels to have little rascals running around? Like,
Not gonna lie, everything you just said, Dennis, just went straight over my head.
It's Dead
I
by
know.
Daylight.
It's Dead by Daylight.
If you ever want to
Like
understand,
when you just said tunnel, like when you tunneled that person, I was like, what kind of porn my guy been watching?
No. So okay, I didn't think I was gonna get into
just give us a, so we don't segue too far. Just give us a quick explanation of what tunneling is in Dead by Daylight.
So Dead by Daylight, let's say you're having a really bad game, but you've already hooked somebody twice, which means that they're closer to death. You want to get them out of the game, so you keep focusing them until they're dead,
Okay,
making it harder for the team to win because there's 3 people versus 4.
Gotcha.
So if you ever want to see some good Dead by Daylight gameplay and still have fun, Dennis is a great starting point for Dead by Daylight because. But you're getting back to it. Your personality does have a lot to do with your brand as well. I'm going to use All I Do Is Camp as an example here. Personality does draw in more people, and that is your brand. You know, he is very well known as being a very welcoming person, and that's what can draw people to and from your channel. Most of the time, I've never seen anybody shy away from a welcoming stream, but you know, for some people, I guess it's just not the feel.
Hey, I followed Cam, gave him 5 subs, and he didn't follow me back. That's tough.
I gave you money. Now follow me back.
I'm joking, by the way. I'm joking. I
no.
did give him 5 subs just because he's a cool dude.
Exactly. And again,
hey, yo, by the way, real quick, one sec. Fuck you, Twitch.
What? Shit.
Where the fuck did that come from?
Double charging me for 10 gifted subs. And they wouldn't refund me.
It sounds like Twitch.
Yeah, sounds about Twitch.
Oh,
Just out of fucking nowhere.
Just out of the.
That was so out of pocket.
Twitch.
That was so out of pocket.
It really was.
Okay.
If I had to give my own example for somebody who has a really good personality, but it doesn't tie in with the name, is my buddy Veracti.
Yes.
He is one of the nicest people on the planet, just ever. He is. I can't even, like, you just have to watch him. It's all you gotta do. He always spouts just positivity, and you gotta be like loving of everybody. And I have a lot of inspiration from him, like a lot. Like when I say like he actually told me, like, behind the scenes one day when we were just talking, he just said, you got to think up your own idea of what to say when let's say you get a raid or somebody comes into chat, right? Or somebody follows, right? I have a couple of ideas that have came into my mind, right? I had the idea of whenever the Skyrim notification goes off, I'll point to him and be like, we know you're a badass here in the Laughing Lounge because we know. Or like the Keanu Reeves one that just speaks for itself. Or when I get a raid, make people laugh, make people smile, and hopefully with that you will stay a while. That just came to my mind one day when I was streaming, and I just thought it up on the spot. My improv brain was like, okay, time to like it never does that, but it finally turned on after cobwebs filling it for years. And it turned on, and it still runs to this day. And it's just like I can think of things on the spot, like
Klondike bar.
Like, you know, like that was just off the cuff. It's like, oh, like a Klondike bar. Like, I don't fucking
And
know where
again,
it came from.
that comes with time, man. Every little
Literally.
microcosm of your brand or what you do, like even still to this day, the funniest thing I see Dennis do is when I come in with a raid and he still does the Skyrim Fusrodan, just shoots himself back in his chair into the bed, and we'll like it's even like
That
it's,
was just god tier, just straight there.
it seems like the most like, you know,
Smooth,
least important
smooth,
thing ever,
smooth.
but oh, your mic's, did you unplug your
you're
mic?
muted.
Fuck. just
And computer brand. But no, it's just like little things like that you don't think are your brand, but then it's like, oh my god, okay, I remember that now, you know. But
Hi, how you doing? Like with me, like when somebody like gives bits, I say, "Hey,"
titty bitties.
then the name says, "Coming in with the titty bitties." Then I shake my tits. I genuinely just do this. I go, "Coming in with the titty bitties."
Dennis.exe has stopped responding.
Or when somebody raises me, I go, blah, 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 blah. Hey, welcome to the Dank Squad. 'Cause, you know, Dank Squad, isn't it? Danskie. Or when somebody gives subs, I call them a crazy bastard.
Yep.
Like, my brand is not having a brand. And it's working out really well for me.
You just go off the cuff sometimes. Like there are things that
Yeah.
you can say off the cuff that just end up being, but like Dennis said, you know, things that you just think of that just come off the cuff or off the top of your head, just will now find their way into your stream.
I'm gonna just like tell you real quick. 2 months ago, I was on 169 followers.
Nice.
As soon as I ditched the brand, like having a brand, I am now on 586 in 2 months.
Yep.
Like my branding is not having a brand, and it's a risky game to play. It's not going to work for everyone. I got lucky because the subtle branding I have is anime, like PT. But he has the tailed beast of Naruto. I have the Dragon Balls. I have anime emotes. He doesn't because he's a pleb. Don't know why. But there's another person on Twitch who everyone should really go to if you want to know how to grow on Twitch. Garminator. He teaches you about so much shit.
He just followed me on Twitter.
Yeah, bro, he's a good dude. His personality is like mine.
Yeah, and
He
sometimes
comes across as a dick, but he's a really good dude.
Sometime during this season, we will
yeah, we'll
explore
definitely
growing and networking and all that. You know,
yeah,
support.
we've got a list of people we want on.
So, Danskie,
yes,
rebranding. Just give me rebranding. Give me one good thing about rebranding and one bad thing about rebranding that you came across.
So, the good thing is it's a clean slate. It's good for your mental health, honestly. Because you'll be stuck in a pit of sweat, blood, tears, and all that nasty shit. Because you're going to feel like you're not going anywhere. And that's the negative. That's the good part, because you can rebrand, you feel fresh, you're brand new brand new me. The bad thing is you are going to lose some people. Because they might not like your name, they might not like how you did it, they might not like your graphics. Or they might just completely say fuck you altogether for no reason. So that's a pro and a con of rebranding, personally.
Yep. Dennis, do you have a pro and a con of rebranding that you would, basically something you would want to tell somebody who's either going through a rebrand or thinking about rebranding? Like, what would you say? Like, yes, do it because of this. No, don't do it because of this. Or like, if you're gonna do it, just be ready for this. You know, basically a pro and a con for somebody, say, in the same situation you were about a year and a half ago.
I would say a pro would have to be the relief after you do it, like for sure, because after I was finally done and everything was set and I hit the go live button for the first time as MrLaffable and nobody knew who that was. Um, it was fucking horrifying. I'm not gonna lie. Like it was scary because it's like you're known as Mr. Kinshasa. Let's say me, I'm known as Mr. Kinshasa. A lot of people came in, like let's say like a year later, I had somebody named Drunk and Disorderly Gaming come back into my chat after a long time. I obviously knew who the fuck that was. That's Cody. That's from the old Fortnite days. Like I remember this guy. But he was like, "Wait, Dennis, is that you?" Like he didn't know that it was me until he joined the stream. And I was like, "Yeah, it's me." Like but the first month of my stream as Laughable, I had formerly Mr. Kinshasa at the beginning and then the stream title because I wanted people to know that it was me if they were still like, oh yeah, I want to be a part of the stream. The con, it would have to be the disappointment of I would have to say, man, how do I word it? It's like the disappointment of like knowing that somebody somewhere is just not gonna know that it's happened. You know, like what if you fall down their follower list, or they see, oh yeah, it's who the fuck is MrLaffable, and then they just unfollow because they don't recognize you.
Mhm.
Because when I first started as Mr. Kinshasa, I didn't have longer hair, let's say, but then again, I have a pretty memorable face.
Yeah.
But no, probably not. But
It's memorable.
people will forget and people will move on, and that's okay. But honestly, I've met new people, and it happens. Like Danskie said, you will meet new people, you will
Mhm.
find new friends, and it literally like I was like after my Xbox days, I was like, how the fuck am I gonna find new friends? I just moved to PS4, played a couple Overwatch games, and I made new friends. Like I literally met somebody in a competitive match. I joined him and his game, and then we just became friends. Like it just it happened, and I did that with random people multiple times, many times, where I just joined up and then we're talking in parties until 4 in the morning, laughing our asses off. Some of them didn't last, others did. I'm still friends with some of them, you know. And
Yep.
then when I moved to PC, I was like, oh man, who am I gonna become friends with on PC? Um, actually went through Twitter from um being a Life is Strange fan, and then
Mhm.
I actually found Twitch from a streamer named Katie Bentz who voiced a character in Life is Strange, and that's how it all began. That's how Mr. Kinshasa came to fruition, and how I finally joined Twitch in 2018. It's can't even believe it's technically gonna be 4 years in February. Oh my god.
Ah, I feel you, but for me, it's gonna
What
be
about you, Tyler?
it's gonna be 8 in October for me. Actually, it's year 8 for me now. Year 8 will be over in October. But for me, one of the biggest pros I can find is finding your happiness. You know, like Dennis said, once you make that change, like you're so happy with what you did now. Like you're happy with your name, your aesthetic, your look, your feel, your stream, your sounds, your personality, your everything, your what you discover about yourself, like on stream. Like I will be one of the first people to tell you that when I started streaming, I was severely introverted, so quiet, so unwelcoming, and you know, it's just a big old huge change to now being, you know, friendly and boisterous and louder than I usually was. And that's translated over into real life too. One of the
It's like-
biggest
Take the time where I raided you, Tyler.
Mhm.
Who did I bring over? These Notes, Dirty Napkins, Riodo Gotti.
Yeah,
many
we're
more.
2022 is starting on a good note with that whole squad coming through and
like if I would have known you back then, and I had those exact same people in my chat, would you be as welcoming, or would you be like, what the fuck?
I would have been like, what the fuck? Because it's still continues to evolve to this day. Like, you will continue to evolve every single year.
Yep.
You know, from year 1 to year 8 now is so much different than, you know, what I've done and what I've, you know, and it's all stuff that's built up over time. You know, you're not going to go live tomorrow and be happy with everything you got. Like, before the stream, we were talking to Dennis about a stream deck, and he was thinking about it, and next thing you know, 5 minutes later, he's buying one off Amazon, and it's going to change his fucking life when it gets there.
It really is.
Yeah, I'm excited.
One of the
Next
biggest
step coming soon.
Yeah, one of the biggest cons that I can probably go over, or that I would tell somebody is, and again, Dennis said this earlier, is getting all your handles. You know, if you have this rebrand in your head, like especially with something like Numskull, which is less unique than Laughable. You know, because there's so much stuff. You know, Numskull. There's a rapper named Numskull who spells it the same way I do. There's Numskull Games that sells, you know, gaming products. There's, you know, if you search Numskull on YouTube, I'm not the first thing that comes up. You know, you're gonna get the gaming brand that sells gaming merch, and then you're gonna get the rapper, and then somewhere near down the bottom of the first page, you're gonna get me. Obviously that's different if you put TV at the end of it, but like getting all your handles together, you know, Twitter, Twitch, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, Hover, Pornhub, OnlyFans. Getting all your handles is so, you know, Caffeine, D Live, Mixer, what is it, Glimish or whatever, all this other stuff, Smashcast or whatever all this other stuff is if you have that in your head and you start that rebrand, say you change it on Twitch, and then you go to Twitter, and you're like, shit, somebody has my handle on Twitter, that kind of derails you. So making sure and getting all those handles is really kind of the biggest con, especially considering that there are millions of people or billions of people and millions of streamers that have kind of the same name or idea as you. Like Danskie said too, somebody already had Danskie when you went to go get it. So you slap a TV on the end of it, you're good. But then again, there it goes. You know, would I love to have just Numskull on Twitch? Fuck yeah. But somebody has it who hasn't been live or active in the last like 3 years. And I'm Numskull TV. That's just what it is.
I got lucky though, because the guy who had Danskie, his Twitter's been deactivated, so now I'm the only Danskie. Like you can type into Google Danskie TV, and I'll be the first thing that pops up. My Twitter, my Twitch, my YouTube. First things that pop up. Go to YouTube, type in Danskie TV. There are other Danskies, but I'm the only Danskie. Like, there's Danskie with 4 E's, there's a Danskie with no E, but I'm the only Danskie with 1 I, 1 E. So, in that sense, I am unique. Part of rebranding is trying to be unique.
Yep.
It's a hard thing to do, but one advice I can give you to becoming unique, before you change your name on a platform, go to Twitter and see if that name is available. Because if that name's available, go for it. Because that's the easiest way of doing it. Because Twitter is one of the hardest places to rebrand. Because, like Tyler says, everybody in the aunt's got your name.
Mm-hmm.
So checking Twitter before Twitch and YouTube is an essential part of rebranding. Personally, and that's what I think.
Definitely. So, I think that kind of wraps it.
Yep.
Right there. You know, if you really want to rebrand, in the end, just make sure you're happy with whatever your rebrand is going to be, period. So, Dennis, if you would like to unmute and let everybody know, not only will all Dennis's information be below in the description whether you're here on YouTube or if you're listening on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you consume your podcast content. Dennis's links will be down below. But Dennis, for those listening, would you like to kind of tell people when, where, and how they can find you and kind of what they can expect?
Okay. I am majority on twitch.tv/MrLaffable, doing my thing, playing Dead by Daylight, playing story games, doing all sorts of shit where I'm being stupid as fuck on the camera because that's what I do best. I am starting to try and upload YouTube videos as well. YouTube.com/random characters. Just look up MrLaffable on YouTube and you'll find me. Because they don't let you have custom fucking URLs for some reason, and I fucking hate it.
Yet.
Maybe one day. Fucking.
In the future, it's going to be youtube.com/c/MrLaffable. In the future.
Yeah.
You're kind. I love you. I love your pink hair.
Bro, call me Pinky in the brain.
And if you want any side content, believe it or not, hover.gg/MrLaffable. That's the best way. And if you want to sign up to Hover using referral code Laffy at sign up, you can do that. LAFFIE. It would mean the world to me. That's a majority. I actually just hit 100 posts yesterday. Almost daily uploads since I started Hover, which is fucking crazy because I started around the beginning of November. So count every single day until then. It's probably going to be somewhat close.
Yeah, damn close.
And yeah, I'll take it. And yeah, I don't know what else to say. You're really awkward. Really stupid.
little did you guys know that before we started recording the podcast, I may have been recording some of the shenaniganry that was going on before.
You know what? I kind of had a feeling, and you know what? Make it as some of the beginning content, or
technically it was sound checking, but I keep sound checking clips, and some of them are kind of great. But
TikTok, here we go.
Great, I'm excited for this.
Hey yo, speaking of TikTok,
oh goodness,
great.
Should we make a Gassin Init TikTok channel?
The question isn't should we. The question is why haven't you searched for it already?
The question
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I have not gotten that far. I literally just made the fucking Twitter yesterday thinking about it like, crap, we're coming back for season 2 and we don't even have a GIP Twitter. Danskie, your links will be below, but what the
obviously
fuck do you do on stream?
I don't know personally. I just do whatever the fuck I want.
He rolls
Sometimes we'll be just chatting.
He rolls cigarettes and calls everybody a cunt.
Pretty much. Or sometimes we'll just be chilling, watching anime. Something that Pokemon did. She got banned. I haven't. Get fucked, bitch. But yeah, go ahead and follow me on twitch.tv/Danskie TV.
Get fucked, bitch! Like, what the fuck?
Dennis is
Jesus
just freezing,
Christ.
bro.
Yes.
Out of pocket.
Yeah, so you can follow Danskie
If you want to.
if you want to. And of course, if you're watching the YouTube videos, all our links are below our face cams if you really want to do that, or if you're just lazy, go in the description and click the links for all that stuff, which will be the part that's killing me is that Dennis is laughing his ass off and he's muted because his laugh is fucking magical.
Well, do you want to fucking hear it?
Yes.
Yes, it's quality audio euphoria.
The wheeze in the middle of the laugh gets me. It's the wheeze that gets me.
Oh, I wheeze a lot. You can blame my sister for that.
But for myself, you could obviously find me twitch.tv/NumskullTV, youtube.com/NumskullTV. I don't need a C. I am not a cuck. I actually have over 1,000 views, so yeah.
You are him.
I know, right?
You are what you eat.
I have graduated from having the C in my YouTube. Also, if you want to send us anything that you want us to talk about or a idea that you could think, you can add us on Twitter at Gassin Init. INIT. Yes, it's Gassin, not gassing. There's no G in Gassin. Or you can send us an email if you really want to. If you want to be prehistoric and send us an email, gassininit@gmail.com. We'll read it live on the pod. Well, I guess it's not live. I'm just so used to saying live. We'll read it on the podcast. But of course, you can catch us. We will upload our episodes onto your favorite podcast platform, whether it's Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you consume your podcast content on Monday, as well as watching the video of our faces getting red and laughing our asses off on the YouTube channel as well. Thank you guys so much. We will see you next week. I keep saying see you like I'm live or something. We will catch you guys next week. We will talk to you next week. Yes, we'll talk to you next week. Thank you so much for listening or watching the Gassin Init podcast. Dennis, thank you so much for coming on and talking to us about rebranding.
Yes, it was a pleasure.
It was an honor.
It was an honor.
Before we go, Dennis, send us off, bud.
Yep.
All right. I don't know what to say, but this is the Gassin Init podcast, and we'll see you next time, where I won't be here, but these two lovely people will. Woo!